Hey there, you're listening to the Not So Breakfast Show with Sasha and Ish. Alright, welcome to the Not So Breakfast Show today, and this is the one about celebrating people. Sasha blindsided me and decided that she wanted to celebrate me for my birthday, and apparently she went out and did a bit of research.
So, Joe, I reached out to Joe and I said, Joe, I want to do this celebration of Ish and all that's amazing for him for his birthday. And I said, we can either talk about something that you really love about him or the thing that you most want to change about him.
Alright, that's the show. Let's get it. Alright, welcome to the Not So Breakfast Show today, and this is the one. Wow. It's surprised on me. This is the one about my birthday, because it's my birthday. I'm going to party like it's my birthday. And Sasha said, just shut up and answer my questions. So.
Yeah, hello, Ish. Here's what happens when we get ready to record an episode of the Not So Breakfast Show. Ish will send me a text message and he'll say, so what are your topic ideas for today? And he's always got something prepared and a big long list. And I'm always like, topics? We have topics? How does that work? So I said, leave it to me. Today we are going to discuss everything that is amazing about Ishmael Shane. Well, that's not actually true because it's only like a half-hour show. We don't have like 700 hours of stuff to do. But it was Ish's birthday yesterday, and I thought it might be a really great opportunity for me just to ask you some questions. And there's two goals that I have in this. One is that people that are listening to us all around the world would get a better sense of who you are and what you're all about. But second of all, that you might get some ideas for how it is that we celebrate everyone on this planet. I'm kind of increasingly of the view that the more time we spend celebrating each other, the better. So this is an episode about how do you celebrate people. And that's what we're going to do today. So, celebrating Ish. The first thing that I'm going to ask you, Ish, today, please, with no preparation, when did you first know you were special?
Oh, okay. Well, I've always been special to my mum, I think.
Yeah.
My dad. You mean like special as in not quite learning the same way as everybody else, or is just valued?
Valued, and that you had something to contribute.
I would say, like, I've always probably been, like we've talked about, academically a bit of a late bloomer. So my brain probably didn't really switch on till I was in my 20s at a level that I felt that I was adding value. But I probably got early affirmation from doing some small presentations that seemed to go quite well. So that natural tendency to be able to deliver a presentation and get some feedback that was positive from that.
Okay, good. Oh, sorry, I'm bored now. Next question.
Okay.
Knowing what you know about how special you've been made to feel, or that dawning realization that you are special. And by the way, I think everybody is special. What have you done in your parenting or in your work role to help other people have that sense that they are special too? And your kids, tell us about that.
So with my kids, I do lots of affirmation, like doing a great job. We have lots of conversations about things that have gone well, debriefing things that didn't go well, and then reframing that for them, and then just doing the classic, I love you, always here for you, and amongst all the yelling and bad parenting that happens along the way that we all do. And then probably for work, I'm really good at just texting people and just giving them little wee affirmations. So just saying you did a great job, or I've just been thinking about you, or I thought that was awesome. And that's probably because I like that. So that's that love language thing. I like doing that for other people.
Okay, good. Thank you. Another question that I have for you is, are you systematic about any of that, or does it just come from the extension of who you are, or is it something else? It's not necessarily a binary choice.
I'm probably calculated about it, not systematic.
So tell me what the difference is then, because then what I think is interesting here is when we are looking to affirm people and lift them up and encourage them, it's so easy to then fall into that kind of manipulative space as well, where we're going, calculated is a good word, but it also sounds a bit Dr. Evil.
Yeah, because what you don't want to do is use people as a means to an end. Well, if I send them this little message or I'm nice to them, then I can get something. So calculated is more just putting an intention to make sure that I am doing things or recognizing or catching people doing stuff good or making time. So that's the calculated part. But not so much systematic as in I'm going to do it every Wednesday at 2:00. So it's always on my radar. It's one of the things that I like to bring as far as my leadership skill set goes. But it's not as systematic as, every Thursday, 3 p.m. text Sash. Say that she's awesome.
I would not get sick of that though. If that was something you did want to do on a systematic basis, I would be okay with that. Just saying. You've talked before about when you were managing a large team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not suggesting that you're telling me fibs that you weren't systematic, but with a larger team, you did have a kind of a structure around your check-ins with them. Yep. Do you want to talk about that just a little bit?
Yeah, so I had the rule of 6, which was 6 people a week within the team. Either got a voice message, a call, an email, something, some connection point. And that allowed me to get through quite a big team. So I think that was with my mainly my PT team in Christchurch. We had about 38 trainers. So those constant touch points.
So that's cool because if you do the maths on that, you go about every 6 or 7 weeks, everybody is getting some kind of contact with you. And what I love about this, and I know you say 36, but I do that with my children, and there's 3 of them. Because without even really being conscious of it, depending on what's happening in a situation, it's not about having a spreadsheet that says, well, I've told Tiger I love him 3 times and Porsche 5 this week. But it can be really easy to lose track of how long it's been since you've spoken to someone or since you've had some conversation with them. I mean, my rule about contacting my mum every time I get in the car, I'm sure she finds it a little bit annoying because sometimes I'll be like, okay, mum, this has been great, thanks. And I run into the dairy to buy some milk. And then I come back to the car and I go, oh, I need to ring mum because I'm back in the car. I said, Mum, how are you going? And she's going, I'm exactly the same as I was 30 seconds ago when you first rang. But what it does is that kind of a process means it's never more than a couple of days that go in between. So
yeah, well, I do that with my mum as well. So that's that rhythm of just when I'm driving home, that's the time I'll call mum or dad and do that a couple of times per week. Because I went through a stage where I just would not call them at all for ages. But when I kind of got into that rhythm and became a little bit more, systematic or calculated about making contact more often. It made it less of a thing when you're finally reaching out after 6 weeks and you have to have these massive conversations.
Yeah, so I do think that is one of the things that you are super good at is keeping in good relationship with people and having lots of regular contact. That's part of the superpower effervescence of who you are. And people that have you in their life are really lucky because of that.
Oh, thanks, Sash.
So, Joe, I reached out to Joe and I said, Joe, I want to do this celebration of Ish and all that's amazing for him for his birthday. And I said, we can either talk about something that you really love about him or the thing that you most want to change about him. So I'm going to get you to answer, Ish, first. What do you think your wife most loves about you? And guys at home, challenge yourself to think, do the people that are closest to you really know you? Because that's what we're about to find out. What do you think she would have said she loves the most about you?
I think she likes the fact that I'm probably an affectionate dad.
Okay, okay.
Emotionally connected.
Yeah, be nice to my kids. I make sexy with you later.
Yeah, well, no, but it's that whole I'm involved and not distant.
Yeah, and that is both helpful and attractive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. And then what do you think she said when I said one thing you would want to change about Ish? What would it be? You're upset that she wants to mess with perfection.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not.
You're going, how long did she have? She had to just pick one thing.
She probably would say something like,
Do you know, hang on, just let me stop
Oh.
you. I reckon you're grappling with whether she's told the truth or whether
Yeah.
she's told just a palatable truth that can go public.
yeah, I think she would say something like, I wish he didn't worry about money so much.
Okay.
Or, yeah. And
Okay, wow,
that
good.
he would just maybe relax in that area.
Okay,
And,
could you be a little more chilled?
yeah,
Could you
be a
chill out,
little-
honey?
Yeah, rather than having to like plan out.
Okay,
Spend it,
you
yeah.
you want to talk about it a lot, don't you?
No, I don't want to talk about it.
No, but you do when you get worried. You go, let's just talk about it and get some more. Okay, that is so interesting.
Okay, so what did she say?
Interesting. So, of course, I've not spoken to Joe at all. I mean, do you even know me? When am I ever that organised?
I was thinking that.
But what a good exercise, right? What a
Yeah.
good exercise. Think about how the people that most love you would answer that question. And my pick is that those things that she most loves about you, you're probably spot on. We're going to find out. Send us some feedback, Joe. Do you even listen? Or are you like
Yeah,
Chris?
she
Do you
does.
pretend this is not happening?
No, she does listen.
Yeah, so how spot on was Ish or not? And even that will be interesting to know, right? Because we want to dial up the stuff that we know people appreciate about us. And we also know the things that drive them a little bit nuts or that they would change. And so we can make choices about whether or not to do those things. Or another really useful thing, I reckon, just throw this on for size. She didn't know you were getting marriage counselling today, is sometimes it's in the way that we discuss the nature of the problem or the challenge, right? So I think this plays out in a work context where some of my team might say to me, you're a better boss when you stop going on about X, right? And so I need to describe that problem in a way that they understand why it's important to me and why it's important to the organisation. But obviously the way I'm talking about it now is just pissing them off.
Yeah.
So it might, let's take the money thing as an example. There might be a way of talking about it that doesn't feel however it feels now, as an example, right? And we're not, we're celebrating you. We're not focusing on your neuroses. And
It's
by
not
the
going to
way,
turn into a roast.
yeah, and by the way, everybody, what you can do to help Joe is just, we have this 30-minute presenter program that you can buy. And if you buy it, that helps us all, right? Find us somewhere online. Okay, so an exercise in thinking when we celebrate people and celebrate ourselves is to ask ourselves those kind of questions. I've ruined it now. If I tell you that I've spoken to anyone else about you, you're going to say, no, you
that's
didn't.
right.
You didn't, you liar. You tell lies. Okay, best holiday you've ever had?
Best holiday I've ever had was... Well, we used to go to the Gold Coast when we could travel about every couple of years, and we always go to the same place. And the reason we go to the same place is I love that nostalgia feeling of seeing, I can see the kids in the pool from when they were little through to when they were teenagers, and I love that. When I walk back through the gates of that place, and I'm just like, all those memories come back. But there was, one specific time, a couple back, where we just got the best room with the best view and had the best time, and but just simple Gold Coast, Australia.
Yeah, awesome. In New Zealand, we love the GC. It's like Florida if you're in the States. I'm going to go to Florida. It's super cool, right? So we've talked a lot during this pandemic about missing those things. And one of the things that your neighbours told me about you when I reached out to them and asked for some feedback for the show is they said one of the things they love about you as a neighbour is how fun you are and how you have helped build a sense of community, because you like doing fun stuff, right?
Yeah.
So my question is, where do you think that love of fun stuff with other people and strangers came from, and how can we build that more into our everyday lives?
I reckon that came from my dad. He was always, again, like pretty hands-on dad. I remember he would take us out swimming down to the river after dinner. He'd take us to the pool. Like he'd just do those fun things with us. So I do remember that, which was pretty cool. And then just probably growing up in a youth group and being a youth group leader and putting on events and organising fun activities. Just those classic car rallies and all that stuff. Fireball was one where you soak a soccer ball in kerosene and then just play soccer and in the field and set it all on fire. And then our kids did that at the youth camp. And I know everyone listening to this is a health and safety officer at their works going, "You did what?" but that kind of fun stuff is always interested me.
Yeah, I've had the same sort of youth group experience that you've had growing up in the church. And what I think's for you guys who haven't had that, if you think about all of your teenage experiences, if you remove alcohol and or drugs if you're a particular badass, because those things were not happening at the churches I was involved in, you had to create fun in a really silly but wholesome way. And I think lots of those kind of things make really good activities in workplaces now, because you take out the alcohol, you take out the drugs, and you say, how do people have fun now? No screens, because we're old enough that we did those things without screens. And I love that when you and I work together, we have been able to create some moments like that for people that we work with. And I hope that you have a sense of the memories that you've created for so many people because of that.
I have got a sense of that.
Yeah, good. You're awesome. Okay, so now I want you to list, what are the 5 things about you that are phenomenal? Go. Are you sick of this yet? I'm not sick of it. This is great. This is great.
It's fine. Oh, phenomenal. I don't know about phenomenal. I struggle with that one.
Okay, so let me partly answer the question for you. And I think this is something for everybody just to feel this in your bones. That when we ask ourselves what makes us phenomenal, we have so many comparisons where we go, actually, the person who conquered Mount Everest for the first time, as if like mountains can be conquered, please. You're a tiny dot. You made it to the top. But we think that's something that's phenomenal, and we look for this exceptional type thing. But I know sometimes I look down at my feet, and I've got little feet. And I go, wow, I just walk on these. Like, I'm upright. These things carry my brain to the next meeting that I'm going to. I think we're all phenomenal, right? And if you think about just the capacity that each of us has to do amazing things, not in comparison to everybody else, just in terms of it's phenomenal the way when you dive into cold water, your hairs on your arms stand up and you experience that kind of gasping of breath and you feel alive on this planet, floating on a rock. Or, we're actually going, not really floating, we're going really fast on a rock, traveling through space, right? So answer that question, not just in the phenomenalness of who you are and all of your uniqueness, but actually in the commonality that you have with every other human on the planet. There's some cool stuff that we get to do. Even the fact that you can remember all those holidays on the Gold Coast, that you have a capacity for reliving the best times in your life just inside your brain. You can play the movie of your life whenever you want. I mean, that's pretty cool, right?
That is cool. That is good. Yeah.
And now that I've given you a longer time, what specifically is phenomenal about you?
Not afraid to ask for help.
There we go. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I quite like getting advice from people and know that I don't have to have all the answers. Quite good at work in a room.
Yes, absolutely.
And building anticipation and fun. I think I'm quite fun to hang out with.
Yes, you are fun.
Around.
Yeah, yes, you are fun to hang out with and have around. Yes, of course.
I'm reliable.
Yes, you are reliable. You guys, if Ish says we're recording at 1:00, he's here at 1:00, and I'm like rocking up at 1:05, trying to plug my gear in, eating my lunch, taking a phone call.
Yeah. And then number 5, probably resourceful.
You are resourceful. You will make things work. And if we forget stuff, that's no problem. If we don't have all the right tools, we'll just make some. We're like cavemen.
Yeah.
We're inventing the wheel. You are awesome like that. Absolutely phenomenal. What's your favorite way to be celebrated? Like, what's the nicest thing anyone's ever done for you?
I probably just like words of affirmation. Like, I just like that exactly what's probably happening now. But I do like that appreciation of stuff. And being told.
And being noticed.
And being noticed. And I think because I spent so much time in my childhood being not noticed and...
Or being noticed for the wrong things.
Exactly.
And a system that wasn't designed to support you or to acknowledge all the things that are great about the way that you learn. The system just said, oh, you're a bit stupid. Or whatever the version of that was, that's so wrong and so damaging. And so
that's right.
When people say positive things to you now, that's like a soothing balm to you, I presume.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not a need I have, but it definitely fills my cup. When I do get that, I've kind of got to the stage now where I know how to
get by without it, right? To get by without it.
Yeah. But I think when I do hear it, and that's probably where the drive to do that for other people is from.
As that you know how important it can be, right? Yeah, awesome. Yay, that's so cool. That's so cool. Okay, so why are you so handsome?
I'm not so. I'm a solid 7. Come on. I'm batting way out of my league with Joe. But, it's, I think it's smoke and mirrors.
I dress well.
I reasonably dress well. It's funny, because I quite like really cool shoes. And my kids like cool shoes, but they're like, Emma, my youngest daughter, she's 16. She just brought the same Nikes that I've got. And they look exactly the same. And I said, are you cool if we're wearing them at the same time? She goes, yeah. That's how I know they're cool. Like, it just doesn't faze her. So she's, So
that's super cool. That's how I know they're cool, Dad, because you're wearing them. Can I tell you that is the exact opposite experience that's happening in my house right now. If I bring something home, you can bet, $1,000 million that no one in my house will want to go near it. I got a lot to learn from you, Ish. I got a lot to learn from you. If you could have done something different with your life, what would you have done?
I probably would have backed my intelligence sooner.
Yes.
I think it took me a while to trust that. So I would have done that sooner. And I think we talked about this the other week. I probably would have done like something like building, like really... I like property, so probably got into that, renovating houses, that kind of stuff a bit sooner than we did.
Yeah, so cool and what a waste. That's not your thing, man. I like that you have a hobby and you like hobby do up your bathroom, but just hobby do up your bathroom. That's okay.
All right.
Okay. I think you're closer to being in the right place when you're sharing your wit and wisdom with the world.
Thanks, son.
What's the best joke you know?
We'll be right back.
If there was one skill that could double your income, advance your career, and increase your ability to influence, it is the skill of presenting. Whether it's on stage, in the boardroom, or at a job interview, the 30-Minute Presenter program will help take you to the next level. So check out our Instagram page, click the link in the bio, and get started on the 30-Minute Presenter program. Probably the one I think I've used.
Come on, here we go.
Where it's like, my neighbours made a sex tape last night. I mean, they don't know about it yet, but they made one.
Yes, good. That's good. I've got one for you. Why are the pyramids in Egypt?
Why?
Because they're too heavy to carry to the British Museum.
Oh, good.
I do like the punching up anti-colonizer joke. I like those ones a lot. Top 3 movies of all time for you.
For me?
Well, it's an episode about you, so I think we should go for you.
Yeah, Love Actually.
Good, yes.
Watched it the other night, felt like Christmas, still love it every single year. I would say Star Wars.
Yes, which one, or just the whole 24 of them?
No, probably just, the first one. I do love that. Just every time I see that, it brings back all those feelings of...
Dun, 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 dun,
yeah, it was I just remember it just being so exciting.
And the rolling font. Yeah.
And then the other one would be Hot Fuzz. I can watch that over and over again.
Oh, of course you can. That's good. Okay. That kind of leads me into what's really wrong with you, do you think?
I think
Nothing is wrong with you. You can like hot fuzz all you want. What I'm going to
Yeah.
ask you now is,
Yeah.
let's just say that these are your last few minutes on Earth, and you've said your goodbyes to the family, and so this is not a family moment. This is a for the planet moment. What's the message that you would most want people to know? Not necessarily remember you by, but just what do you think is the most important thing for people to know?
So last message for the world. Probably just don't be a dick. I think there's people out there that have got so much to give to others and they just don't. And they're just a dick about it. And I think sometimes we just need to get over ourselves and just serve and give back and connect and build relationships. We were made for connection, and I think it's so easy to just become self-absorbed.
Yeah, that's lovely, and it's true. And you can die now happy because, well, no, not yet because we haven't recorded this fully. Once this episode's launched, you can die and I will make sure your message gets to the world.
Yeah.
I will be the deliverer, the portal of your wisdom.
If something happens to me, though, can someone just come back to this episode? Because Sasha may have engineered my death.
Yeah, possibly. Highly likely. Your name, Ishmael,
Yes.
did it give you any grief as a kid?
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about it.
Oh,
I don't think we've talked about this before.
Yeah, I know.
Share.
I told my mum I was going to change my name when I was 18. I told her time and time again. I just hated my name because it was complicated to spell. People would say it wrong. And then obviously mum called me Ishmael, and then I started getting called Ish, which she didn't like, but then she got her head around that. Just all the misinterpretations.
Yeah, because even the way your surname is spelled, like Cheyne, I didn't know that was pronounced Shane. I don't know what I used to call you. I think I used to call you like cayenne pepper or something. And then you said, no, it's Shane. And I'm like, oh, okay, no, I can see that would be problematic. My last name's Shane, my first name's Ish.
Yeah, well, because my best mate, who was at our wedding and introduced us as we came back into the room, because I didn't really go by anything, I was like, Cher, right, one name, it was just Ish. He suddenly got into this cold panic where he realised he'd never said my last name before.
And not out loud. in
Not
front of
out
other
loud.
people.
And kind of went, Ish and Joe Cheyenne. It was brilliant. It was so funny. It was so
That's
funny.
great.
So yeah, but when I turned 18, I kind of, I guess, made peace with it a little bit. And we've talked about this before. People say Ish, they know who it is. Like, especially in the
Yes.
fitness industry. It's,
Totally.
Yeah, it's just become not famous, but it has become a name that people have heard before. So that's been quite helpful. And as a result, no, I won't be changing my name. But when I order coffees or book restaurants, I say my name is Joe because I don't have to explain my name. So I say it's Joe. But I've been outed by the COVID pass because when people scan it, it doesn't say Joe, it says Ishmael. And so people are going, is that yours? And I go, oh, yeah, my real name's Ishmael, but my coffee name is Joe, and it's pretty funny.
And my wife's name's Joe. And
Yeah, well, that's how I remember it, because, yeah.
off you go. Okay, so why did your parents call you Ishmael? Because what's everyone else in your family called?
So my brother's Nathaniel.
Oh, so that's biblical. Lovely.
Yeah, and my parents' names are Les and Diane. So I think it was more they didn't have, what they would say were special names.
Is your dad Les Mills?
No, I know, it's funny, eh? His name's Les Shane. But yeah, I think it's because their names were simple back then.
Yes.
That they then wanted to give their names of their kids something a little bit different.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
see, we've gone the complete opposite because our kids, Samantha and Emma, and named after TV shows. So Samantha named after Me and My Girl. It was my favourite TV show when I was growing up.
Not after Samantha and
not
Sex and
after
the
her.
City. 'Cause she was,
Yeah, she's a bit crazy.
crazy.
And Emma after Ross and Rachel's daughter from Friends. So, yeah,
Of course.
very shallow.
Right. Yeah, no, that That makes perfect sense. We've gone from the depths of
Everything I learned from TV, Sash, you know that.
Nathaniel and Ishmael.
Yeah.
We've gone from there. My sister was going to be called Nathaniel, but then Nathaniel or Caleb, but then, she turned out to be a girl, so
Yeah.
what can you do? Esther and Ruth were already taken, and they're the only biblical names. Hannah. So, last question.
Okay.
And our celebration of all things Ash. We've talked about how amazing you are at work, what a great encouragement you are to others, what a wonderful dad you are, how Joe wouldn't want to change anything about you, except that you're a bit of a worrywart about money. Crikey. And that's not going to be a worry anymore because so many people are buying the 30-minute presenter program because it's amazing and will help you nail 30-minute presentations. They're buying it now out of sympathy for you. And frankly, I don't care what your purchasing motivation is. That's good. They're getting it. We've talked about your origins and your name and what that's meant for you, how you've overcome having a shit time at school to just become an absolute leader and legend in fitness, and the way that you are so fulfilled by giving back. And that's part of what this podcast is for us, right? It's about saying how can we just offer people some learnings from our lives. And so I hope that you guys who are listening can think about how you celebrate the people in your life on their birthdays, and questions you can ask of yourself as well to go, hang on, am I on the right track? How's my life going? Am I as cool as Ish? That's really the central question for today. Obviously, you don't have to be so cool as to like Hot Fuzz. There's limits. Tell us now one song that you get to listen to once, and that's it. You can never hear it again. And then you pick one song, and this is the only song you'll ever hear for the rest of your life on repeat. What are your two songs?
Man. Okay, one song that I will hear that I'll never hear again, Crazy Frog.
Because you like it, but you don't need it again.
Yeah, well, I hate it, but I'll listen to it one
Okay,
more time just to
good.
get rid
All
of it.
right, yeah, good.
Yeah.
Crazy Frog.
Okay, and then
was that Baby Shark?
No, that's Baby
How
Shark.
does Crazy
yeah.
Frog go?
I'm not doing
Oh!
it. No, it's that one's like. Oh
yes, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. And then probably the song that I could listen to over and over again would be. No. It would probably be. It'll be something by Elton John or Lord, I think, or Taylor Swift. But I'm gonna go Elton John, and my Elton John song of choice will be your song.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, by Elton John.
That is so lovely. And that song is really special for me as well. Because I used to have this will surprise you to learn, I had a boyfriend. and I think, I loved him. And I visited his parents, and they lived in England and stuff. So
Wow.
That'll reveal who it is. Anyway, he unceremoniously dumped me, and that was probably a good thing. He's since been married to his gorgeous wife now for 100 years, and that was their wedding song. So that's beautiful. That was a song that someone couldn't ever sing about me, but he could sing it about someone else, but I'm good. So, yay, you'll get to listen to that on repeat over and over and over again. Yay, that's a beautiful song. I thought that you might choose a church song. So I've written down a worship song. So you've got to now pick a worship song, and I'll see if it's the one that I've written on my bit of paper. Let's see how well we know each other.
Okay, so something probably Oceans.
Yes! Oh my God, that's what I've got written on my bit of paper. Ha! I knew that about you. I knew that about you.
Maybe I'll pick that as my song I'll listen to.
Maybe.
Not very chosen.
Yeah, no, that's super cool. What is amazing is that we will be friends forever, and I absolutely value and love that. And it's so safe. I love the safety of our friendship because there's no chemistry. And so it's just lovely. It's like I have a brother who I love dearly, and I have you who I love dearly too. So thanks, Ash.
Oh, thanks,
celebrating
Ash.
you. I'm so excited that you're 51. Your 50th was amazing last year, and you're looking pretty good. So
48. Thanks. I'm not claiming that.
celebrate your people, everyone. Celebrate the people in your life. Let them know that you love them. Send them messages, even if it is in a slightly calculated, manipulative way.
Okay, so quick confession then while you're, loving me. I think I lost episode 56.
What?
I don't know. Well, I'm pretty sure we recorded it, but I don't know if you've noticed the numbers go from 55, 57, 58.
I'm not across the detail here, Ash.
So one day we might find episode 56.
What was that one even about?
I don't know. I can't find it.
Sounds like it was dumb.
Maybe it was. Maybe it might turn up at some stage, but that's my confession.
Yay, bonus. And I like how you sneaked that in at the end on your birthday. Nice.